Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The I.S.U.P.K. under Commanding General Yahanna presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahanna. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
Shalom to Israel. Which means to stand. Upon the Uncle Down, which means to rise and face the east. The Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemaya, Kodah. Ayah, Shemka, Yahawah, Malakutka, Sabaha, Ratzazaka, Ayah, Aksha, Baratza, Kawa, Ayah, Bashemaya, Nathananaw, Lacham, Kal, Yawam, Wasalafanaw, Kabawafnaw, Kasalafnaw, Kabawafdinaw, Walaa, Thabayanaw, Banasayan, Abal, Hawashanaw, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Waha Allah, Wahapara, the Amen. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever, so be it. Hakak, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Babakosha, Nathananaw, Hakat, La call Makala, will call Marawa, Hakat, La Tahar, Amatazarite, Hakat, La Hakwi, Hamakia, Hakat, Alkawa, Hatamaala, the Garashan, by Shim Yahushai, the water Amun. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it. The prayer to bless Israel. Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Barak Lanau, Wayasha'ala, Waha, Bayatsapar, Barak, Rapak, Magun, Agun, Ba'ashim Yahushua, the water Amun. What we just said was Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua. Bless us and Israel in the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones in the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it. Psalms 121. Asha, Ayanya, Alahari, Mayan, Yabaha, Izari, Ma'an, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemaya, Waratza, Al Yathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al Yanawam, Shemarka, Hanat, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yashan, Sharamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shemarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yah, Yaninka, Yawamam, Hashimash, La'a, Yakaka, Wayara, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashimar, Kara, Yashimar, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashimar, Taza'aka, Waba'a, Ma'itha, I will love Aman. I will lift up my eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh should preserve thee from all evil. He should preserve thy soul. Yahweh should preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. So be it. Psalms 83. Alahai, all the Yalakat, all the Harash, wa all the Shakwat, all ka Yahanna, our Yapika, Yahamna, wa Mashanaya, Nasha'awa, Ra'ash, Alaika, Yairayamu, Sawa, where the heights of the wa, out of that Poenica, Amarawa, the Kawa, Wanakakida, Mogoya, Wala A, Yazakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Iwa, Kaya, Nawa Aita the wa, La, Yakadwa, Alia, Warya, Yakarathwa, Aholia, Adawan, White Shem Alia, Mawa'aba, Wahagar, the ball, Wa'aimuan, Wa'anla, Palasha, Ayushabi, Tazawar, Gam Ashawar, Nalawa, Aiman, Hayu, Zarawai, the Bunny Lawat, Salah, Aisha, the Hum, from Magi, Kasaya Sara'a, Kayabi, Banahal, Koyashwan, Nashamadu, Ba'ayandara, Hayu, the Man, La Adama, Shea Thumma, Nadayamua, Kaira, Bukazaba, Bukazaba, Bukatazalmana, Kala Say Kumwa, Ashar, Amorwa, Nairasha, Lanawa, Nahawa, Alahai, Alahaya, Shea Thumma, Kagawala, Kakwash, the Paniraka, Ka'ash, the Ba'ira Yaira, Wakalahaba, Falahat, Aryam, Khan, the Radakma, Basaira, Wabasawapaka, the Balam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Kwalawan, where Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, where Bahawa, Ayaha, where Parwa, where Badwa, where the Iowa, Kaya, Tha, Shamka, Yahawa, the Badka, Ow, Yaman, Ow, Call, Rataza, Aman. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. As also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, as the brook of Kishon, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zed, yea, all their princes, as Zabah, and as Amunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded, and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame, and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. So be it. The prayer for the blessings of the power structure. Barakatah Yahweh. Why Yahweh, why Allah, why Allah, Matazab Yah, Allah Wap Yahanna, Ha Allah Wap, Ha Saranya, Ha Quatazayanya, Ha Kayayal, Wah Wafya, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, the water Haman. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahanna, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, thank you, so be it. Sar, which means to turn. Yushabi, which means to be seated. So, let me fix this screen for a second. I don't like how it looks. Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. All right, Most High Christ. Go ahead, clap it up. All right, we're in the book of Numbers, chapter 5 and verse 31. Today we'll be going over and reading the vow of a Nazarite. Something that is that's unheard of is the vow of a Nazarite, but that's something that the I.S.U.P.K honors to this day. You got a son, if you have a son that's born in the truth and you want to dedicate him to the school and take the vow of a Nazarite, you can absolutely do so. You understand? You can absolutely do so. All right. We're in Numbers chapter 5 and verse 31. Also, shalom to the sister Nazarite. Shalom, sis. Yahweh Shema Tabashim Hamshah. The young man checking in from OKC. Shalom, mighty man. Yahweh Bashim Hamshah Baruch Most High Christ. All right, this is Numbers chapter 5 and verse 31. Wanakwa ha'ayash ma'awan wa'ash hahawa'a tasha'a ath I will not. This is Numbers chapter 6 and verse 1. Where the bar Yahweh al Masha la Mar. Verse 2. The bar al Banya Yasha'ala wa Marath Alaham Ayash Awa Asha Kaya Yapalwa Salakia Yapala'a Lanadar Nadar Naziyar Lahaziyar La Yahweh. Verse 3. Mayayan Washakar Yazayar Chamataza Yayan Wachamataza Shakar La'a Yashatha Wakal Masharath Ainabium La'a Yashatha Wainabium Lachayam Wayabashim La'a Yakal. Verse 4. Call Yamya Nazarwa Makal Ashar Yaisha Magapan Hayayan Maharatazana Tazanayam Maharatazanayam Wa'ad Zag La'a Yaakal. Verse 5. Call Yamya Nadabar Salakia. That's Nadar Nazarwa Fa'ar La'a Ya'ibar Al Ra'ashwa I Mala'ath Hayamam Ashar Yazayar La Yahweh Kodash Yahya Gadal Parai Sha'ir Ra'ashwa. Verse 6. Call Yamya Hazayarwa La Yahweh Al Napash Math La'a Yaba'a. All right. This is Numbers. Now let's go back. This is Numbers chapter 5 and verse 31. Then shall the man be guiltless from iniquity, and this woman shall bear her iniquity. What is that talking about? What we read last Sabbath service, the law or the process of the law of jealousy. If you have a jealous husband and he believes that you are whoring on him, there is a process within our law, within our council, that you are supposed to go and take this woman to council. You take her, you suspect this sister that you're married to, your wife, is a whore. But the Bible said there is no proof that she's a whore. You have to take not a sacrifice, but you have to take an offering to the priest, whether she's guilty or not. That part is irrelevant. If you suspect your wife is a whore, you go in front of the priest of God in council and you bring an offering to them. Now, there is a process that the priests are going to dictate to show if your wife is a whore. And the process in the Bible that it's referring to was the priest at this time would take the dust from the ground. They would sweep it into an earthen vessel, a cup, a chalice. They would put it into a piece of clay that you drink out of. And they would put water, nasty, bitter water. The Bible says if your wife spit it out, it made her sick. If she vomited that water out, then she was guilty. But if she did not, if she could stomach it, then she was innocent. And so verse 31 of chapter 5 of Numbers was finishing up that process. If you have a jealous husband, if you're a brother who's jealous, meaning if you're a brother with suspicion that your wife is a whore, that is the process you would do. You don't beat her. You don't accuse her to her face and say, you're a whore, bitch, I'm leaving you. That is unlawful. If you suspect your wife is cheating on you, for lack of better terms, you take her before the men of God in council here in the I.S.U.P.K, and you allow the priest to perform their duties. They will tell you whether or not your wife is a whore. Now, of course, if you have proof, then you will bring that in front of the council as well. Everyone understand? Now, this is Numbers chapter 6 and verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when either man or woman shall separate themselves to vow a vow of a Nazarite, to separate themselves unto the Most High, he shall separate himself from wine and strong drink, and shall drink no vinegar of wine or vinegar of strong drink, neither shall he drink any liquor of grapes, nor eat moist grapes or dry. What is it saying? If you have a son that you would like to dedicate to the school when they're born in the school and you want to make them a Nazarite, to take the vow of a Nazarite, part of taking the Nazarite vow means your son is not allowed to drink any liquor, any strong, any wine. Like for the Sabbath day, we have this wine. He would not be able to drink that. He wouldn't be able to drink anything, any strong liquor, right? He could not drink liquor, wine, anything of wine or spirits is what the old Judites call it. You wouldn't be able to drink that as a Nazarite. You understand? Who was a famous Nazarite in the Bible? Samson. He was a famous Nazarite in the Bible. Shalom, sis. Yahweh Shema Yahweh Shai. You understand? So let's keep going. That's one of the rules that comes with taking the vow of a Nazarite. Verse 4. All the days of his separation shall he eat nothing that is made of the vine tree, from the kernels even to the husk. All the days of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head, until the days be fulfilled, and the which he separated himself unto the Most High. He shall be holy, and shall let the locks of the hair of his head grow. The locks of your hair. This is called locks. These braids that I have in my head, these are called locks because you can unlock it. I can unbraid this right now. A dreadlock, with society, modern society calls dreadlocks today, are not biblical locks in the Bible. Biblical locks are these braids. This is what Samson had in his head, just like this, right? The braids in his hair, just like this. They're locks. That's what we call them, like Goldilocks in the Three Bears. A lock of hair is a three-stranded piece of hair, or better known as a braid. Why? Because you can unlock it. A dreadlock is nappy hair that mats together because of lack of hygiene and uncleanliness. It is not biblical. It is unlawful. And furthermore, it is not Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian culture or custom to do so. You understand? Any homeless white man can get some dreadlocks in his head. Locks are braids, right? Like a lock you can unlock. That's why it's called a lock. In fact, the biblical word here, if I can go to it real quick. Let's go to the lock that it says in the Bible. Well, it will have to be braid. The biblical word, or the Hebrew word for braid, it even says lock in the concordance, which is how you know it's not dreadlocks. Dreadlocks are a filthy heathen custom that comes from the East Indian. That's a devotion to another god, the dreadlocks. All you have to do is pick up a book and read, and you will see dreadlocks come from the heathen Shiva or Shiva, the East Indians god or goddess, right? She was a transgender transvestite, and she had dreadlocks. And so every Rastafarian, every East Indian grows dreadlocks because it doesn't take much to upkeep, because all it is a big nappy ball of mess on your head that you don't have to comb, oil, or do anything to. Black people made dreadlocks popular, like we do everything. We look at someone's culture, we make it popular because everyone wants to be one of us. Everyone wants the swag that we have. Everyone wants that, what is it called? What do the young kids call it? Aura, or they call it Riz, right? Which is short for charisma. That's what Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians naturally have. We got soul, we got spirit. So whenever we do something, everyone wants to follow suit. So we made dreadlocks popular, but it comes from Rastafarianism, East Indian, Shiva culture. It is not biblical. It's not what Samson had in his head. Samson had braids. He had braids. And that is what a biblical lock is. Everyone understand? And it says that if a Nazarite take this vow, that there shall no razor come up on his head until the days be fulfilled, and the which he separated himself unto the Most High. He shall be holy. What does holy mean? Separate. right? Just like any brother can cut their hair. It is not a sin for a man in the nation of Israel to shave his head. You cannot shave it with a razor, and you can't shave it clean. But if you want waves in your head, that's not unlawful. If you want to get your hair cut even and have the waves or a fro and you want to keep it nice and tight, that's not unlawful. But a Nazarite, if this boy takes this vow, this Nazarite, this boy can never shave his head. No razor, meaning nothing can cut his hair. He's not allowed to ever cut his hair, right? You can't drink, you can't eat certain things, and you cannot cut your hair. These are some of the rules that comes along with being a Nazarite, taking the Nazarite vow. Everyone understand? Shalom, sis. Yahweh Shemalat Tabashim Yahushua. All right. So yeah, that's the Nazarite. That's part of the Nazarite vow. He can't cut his hair, right? If you're a brother who is not under the vow of the Nazarite, you can cut your hair. You can braid it. You can let it grow, which is our culture. It's Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian culture. It's Israelite culture to let your hair grow, both men and women. But if you're not under the vow of a Nazarite, you don't have to let your hair grow. A man doesn't have to let his hair grow. He can cut it short. He can have the fro. He can style it to be little plaits in his head, the little braids. He doesn't have to let it grow long. You know, he don't have to. It's not a commandment or a law, but it is our culture. Is beautiful for a man to have. It's glorious for a man to have long hair, and it's beautiful for and glorious for a woman to have long hair in our culture. But if you're not under the vow of a Nazarite, you don't have to. Everyone understand? This is verse 6. All the days that he separated himself unto the Most High, he shall come at no dead body. What does this mean? He's never allowed to go bury anyone. Because when you go to a burial, or what you today call a funeral, we do not say funeral because funeral is not Israelite culture. Funeral comes from the Greeks, meaning to burn a body. Burning a dead body is, once again, another heathen custom. That's what the word funeral comes from. We do not call it a funeral. We call it a burial because we bury our dead. We do not burn our dead. Don't ever get a cremation because it is unlawful. You bury him with a proper Israelite burial, or bury her with the proper Israelite burial. They deserved it. That's what you do. You don't burn a body. It's cheap, and it shows they have no honor. It shows you have lack of dignity and they have no honor. That's Greek and heathen custom that we do not do. So we also don't call it a funeral either. So a burial, this Nazarite, he's not allowed to go and bury the dead because he cannot be unclean. And going around a dead body makes you unclean for 7 days. This brother is never allowed to be unclean. Everyone understand? This is Numbers chapter 6 and verse 7. La abnuwa, wala salaki, wala la amawa, wala amawa, la khaya, la khayu, wala khathwa, la yatama'a, la bamathum, kaya, nazar, alahaya, salaki, alahayawa, al, ra'ashwa. Verse 8. Call Yamya, Nazarwa, Kodash, Hawa'a, La Yahweh. Verse 9. Wakaya, Yamawath, Math, Alua, Bapathai, Patha'am, Watama'a, Ra'ash, Nazarawa, Salaki Nazarwa, Wagalach, Ra'ashwa, Bayawam, Taharathwa, Bayawam, Hashabayaya, Yagalach, verse 10, Wabayawam, Hashamayanya, Yaba'a, Shafya, Tharayam, Awa, Shanya, Banaya, Yarana, Al, Akahan, Al, Athak, Ahal, Mawa'ai, verse 11. Wa'id Shah, Akahan, Achad, Lachata'ath, Wa'achad, La'ila, Wakapar, Al-Yawa, Ma'ashar, Khata'ah, Al, Hanapash, Wakadash, Af, Ra'ashwa, Bayawam, Hahawa'ah, verse 12. Wahazayar, La Yahawah, Af, Yamya, Nazarwa, Wahabya, Kabash, Khan, Shanathwa, La'asham, Salaki, La'asham, Wahayamyan, Salakia, Hara Ashnayam, Yapalawa, Kaya, Tama'a, Nazarwa, verse 13. Waza'af, Tharawaf, all right, Tharawaf, Hanazayar, Bayawam, Mala'af, Yamya, Nazarwa, Yabya'ah, Afwa, All, Bafak, Ahal, Mawa'id. All right, Yeah, someone asked, is that Aramaic? Yes. This is Hebrew, right? Esau, our oppressor, calls this what we're speaking, our native tongue, the Lashawan Kodash Hebrew. The white man calls it Aramaic, which, by the way, you spelled it wrong. But the white man calls it Aramaic because he believes that Hebrew comes from Hebrew comes from Aram. Hebrew does not come from Aram. Hebrew comes from Eber or Ibar in the Hebrew. Hebrew literally is translated into Ibar, old, and that's the oldest language, which is Hebrew. It's not Aramaic. It is Hebrew, right? That's what we're speaking, Hebrew. And you can tune into our Friday evening Lashawan Kodash, Holy Tongue classes. No, you all right, brother. He said, my bad. Ain't no sweat. You're learning, Jay. You're learning. Where are you located? Are you here in the city? JRK1MN, are you located here in the city? But you don't have to apologize, brother. Ain't no sweat. We all have to learn. Hebrew comes from Eber, not Aram, right? Aram is not Hebrew. That is what our oppressor believes, and they credit that to Arabic. That's where they get Arabic. It's not the same language. It's not the same thing. Once again, we are Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the original Jews, and our native tongue is Hebrew. In fact, at one time, the entire earth spoke a form of Hebrew. Hebrew Edomite, Hebrew Israelite, Hebrew Ishmaelite. You understand? That's the oldest language. It is the heavenly language, the language that Christ speaks. Everyone understand? And the language that the Lord speaks in heaven. You understand? Which is why when we pray with the holy tongue. And then we pray in the bastardized tongue, which is English or Spanish or French or Creole. But Hebrew, that's the heavenly language. That's the holy tongue. Everyone understand? All right, so let's go back up to verse 7. This is Numbers chapter 6 and verse 7. He shall not make himself unclean for his father or for his mother, for his brother or for his sister when they die, because the consecration of his power is upon his head. He is not allowed to bury his dead father, dead brother, dead family member, as Israelites are commanded to, right? You may wonder, like, why is that? He's not allowed to bury anybody. You saying, well, why is that, taboo? Because you are supposed to bury your father or your mother or your family member that passes away. You give them an honorable Israelite burial. You make yourself present. But once again, there are times in the Bible outside of the Nazarite vow that brothers were not able to bury their dad or their mother. Anyone want to give it a shot on who I'm referring to in the Bible? Since everybody knows so much in the comment section, everybody's a biblical scholar. There were two brothers who were physical brothers in the Bible who a certain man told them not to bury their father. Does anyone know? Does anyone know? Everybody's such an expert. Y'all don't know the simple biblical questions. James. Right? James and who was it? Was it Peter? No, it wasn't Peter. It was James and John. When their father passed away, Christ, our King, told them that they're not allowed to but they don't have time to. He said, let the dead bury the dead, because we have work to do. And doing the work of the Lord, you don't have time to always bury the dead. You don't always have time to be, because why is that important? Because then you will be unclean. If you're unclean, you can't do the work of the Lord. You're down for 7 days. And the best ability is availability. And so because of that, you can't go and bury your dead all the time when you're a priest and prophet of God, when you're doing the work of the Lord, when you took that oath. You don't have time for children, time for be a family man. Like I'm sure some of these cats are in the comment section. They're a bunch of family men. And here we don't have time to. You have to go and save the mentally ill. So many of you in the comments have mental illness. You're sick. You're absolutely sick. And you need Commanding General Yahanna's help. So it is our job to forego the love of a woman, forego being a family man, forego burying our loved ones. Why? Because we have to save you. And that's what Christ told John and James. You can't go bury your father because you have the work of the Lord to do. Everyone understand? And so this in the Bible is saying part of the Nazarite vow, he can't make himself unclean, no matter if his father dies, mother dies, wife dies, or so like he can't have a wife. He can't make himself unclean. Everyone understand? He can't shave his hair ever. He can't cut it. And he can't drink strong drink. He can't drink liquor, alcohol, wine. He cannot drink that. Everyone understand? He is consecrated. Mala'an in the Hebrew. He's consecrated. Or mala'ah, right? He's a consecrated man. He's sacred. He's holy. He's not like you and I. That's the vow of a Nazarite. Let's keep going. Verse 8, and the days of his separation, he is holy unto the Most High. And if any man die very suddenly by him, and he have defiled the head of his consecration, then he shall shave his head in the day of his cleansing. On the 7th day shall he shave it. So if someone drops dead by him, if someone was to get unalive right by him, they have a heart attack and die. Being next to a dead body makes you unclean. So what does he have to do? On the 7th day, he has to shave his head. This is a part of the vow of the Nazarite. He has to shave his head if someone was to die next to him. And the priest, Salakia, verse 10. And on the 8th day, he shall bring 2 turtles and 2 young pigeons to the priest to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Verse 11. And the priest shall offer the one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering, and make an atonement for him, for that he sinned by the dead, and shall hallow his head that same day. And he shall consecrate unto the Most High the days of his separation, and shall bring a lamb of the first year for a trespass offering. But the days that were before shall be lost, because his separation were defiled. So if this brother had been a Nazarite for 45 years, and he's never been unclean, he's never drank liquor or wine, he's never known a woman, he's never cut his hair for 40 years, 30 years, 28 years, 60 years. If he makes himself unclean, all that time, not make himself unclean, but if he becomes unclean because a body died next to him, and he goes and gives the 2 turtles or the pigeons to the priest for an atonement offering, then that time starts over, right? That time starts over. That's what the Bible is saying. So if you were a Nazarite for 50 years, never was unclean, never shaved your head, never drank liquor or wine, brother, you are starting that over. You understand? You're starting it over. That's why it's so severe. If you're a brother or a sister in the truth, and you have a son that is born in the truth that you would like to dedicate to the school and make them Nazarite, that's something you better think very hard about, because it is a decision that is going to literally affect your son for the rest of his life. It's severe. It's extreme. While your son's playmates, while his peers and his contemporaries are going out getting college degrees, while they're going out and, celebrating God knows what, while they're going out drinking and having fun and playing sports, your son will be in the temple learning how to be a priest from as old as he can talk and walk, right? He can never cut his hair. He's not going to be like an ordinary boy. He's not going to be an ordinary man. He's got to be raised up at the feet of the priest of God. So you can't take him to swim practice. He don't have time for swim practice. I need him here cleaning the temple. I need to teach him Lashuan Kodash, how to hold the Sabbath service. Do you understand? This is the job. This is what you're doing when you're telling Commanding General Yahanna, you're dedicating your son to the truth. Are there brothers or sisters who have done it? Yes. And furthermore, we absolutely need brothers and sisters to dedicate their sons to this school. Why? So they could be the next generation to take over for us. It is an honorable thing. It is very noble to do. It's just that it's so strenuous and severe and extreme. The average person cannot do it. The average boy is not going to be up to task. He's going to want to go to football games. He's going to want to be out with women. At 17, he's going to have sex with some tail. He's going to want some tail. But he's going to have to be in the temple doing the work of God. He's going to have to waste his Saturdays to spend time to go and get the mentally ill out of the ghettos that's in this comment section right now. That's what he's going to be doing at 14 and 12 and 17, all the way until he dies. That's his life. His life is devoted to the work of the Lord. If you are listening to this and you're a brother or sister in the school with a newborn baby boy, and you were thinking about devoting your son or dedicating him to the school, I pray you thought about it after I just said what I said, because he won't be an ordinary boy. That boy won't be raised up like the average boy in the truth. He's going to be devoted to the work of God from the time he can talk. Does everyone understand? He's never going to be able to taste liquor. He's never going to be able to bury anybody or be around dead or ever make himself unclean, and he won't ever be able to shave his head. Everyone understand? This is verse 13. And this is the law of the Nazarite. When the days of his separation are fulfilled, he shall be brought unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. All right. This is verse 14. This is Numbers chapter 6 in verse 14. All right. Korabanawa, La Yahweh, Kabash, Ban, Yanathua, Thamayam, Achad, Laila, Wakabash, Achath, Bath, Shanath, Thamayam, Lakata'ath, Wa'ayal, Achad, Thamayam, Lashalamyam, verse 15. Wasal, Matazawath, Salath, Kalath, Balawalath, Bashaman, Warakyak, Matazawath, Mashakyam, Mashaman, Wamanakatham, Wanasakyaham, verse 16. Verse 16. Oh, yeah, here we go. Wahakoryab, Hakahan, Lapunya, Yahweh, Wa'aisha, Ath, Kata'athwa, Wa'ath, Ilathwa, verse 17. Wa'ath, Ha'ayal, Ya'aisha, Zabach, Shalamyam, La Yahweh, Al, Saul, Hamatazawath, Wa'aisha, Hakahan, Ath, Manakathwa, Wa'ath, Nasakawa, verse 18. Wagalach, Hanazayar, Pathach, Ahal, Mawa'id, Ath, Ra'ash, Nazarwa, Walakwach, Ath, Sha'ir, Ra'ash, Nazarwa, Wanathan, Al, Ha'ash, Ashar, Thachath, Zabath, Hashalamyam, verse 19. Walakwach, Hakahan, Ath, Hazarai, Bashalah, Man, Ha'ayal, Wachalath, Mataza'ah, Akath, Man, Asal, Rarakyak, Mataza'ah, Achad, Wanathan, Al, Kapya, Hanazayar, Achad, Salaki Achar, Hathagalachwa, Ath, Nazarwa. Verse 20. Wahanayap, our thumb, Hakahan, Thanawapa, Lapunya, Yahweh, Kodash, Hawa'ah, Lakahan, Al, Chazah, Hathanawap, Hathanawapa, Wa'al, Shawak, Hatharawama. All right, Wa'achar, so like Wa'achar, Yashatha, Hanazayar, Yayan. All right, this is Numbers chapter 6 and verse 14. And he shall offer his offering unto the Most High, one he-lamb of the first year without blemish for a burnt offering, and one ewe-lamb of the first year without blemish for a sin offering, and one ram without blemish for peace offerings, and a basket of unleavened bread cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, and wafers of unleavened bread anointed with oil, and their meat offering and their drink offerings. Verse 16. And the priest shall bring them before the Most High, and shall offer his sin offering and his burnt offering. Verse 17. Then he shall offer the ram for a sacrifice of peace offerings. Unto the Most High. With the basket of unleavened bread, the priest shall offer also his meat offering and his drink offering. And the Nazarite shall shave the head of his separation at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall take the hair of the head of his separation and put it in the fire which is under the sacrifice of the peace offerings. Verse 19. And the priest shall take the sodden shoulder of the ram, and one unleavened cake out of the basket, and one unleavened wafer, and shall put them upon the hands of the Nazarite, after the hair of his separation is shaven. Verse 20. And the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before the Most High. This is holy for the priest, with the waved breast and heaved shoulder. And after that, the Nazarite may drink wine. All right, this is Numbers chapter 6 and verse 21. Za'ath, Tharawath, Hanazayar, Achar, Yadar, Korabana, Layahawa, Al, Nazarwa, Malabad, Ashar, Thashayab, Yadawa, Kapya, Nadarwa, Ashar, Yadar, Khan, Yaisha, Al, Tharawath, Nazarwa, verse 22. Wayadabar, Yahawa, Al, Masha, La'amar, verse 23. Debar, Al, Aharon, Wa'al, Banayawa, La'amar, Ka, Thabarakwa, Thabarakawa, Ath, Banya, Yasha'ala, Amawar, Laham, verse 24. Yabarak, Yahweh, Wayashimaraka, Ya'ar Yahweh, Panyawa, Auyuka, Wayakanka, Yasha'a Yahweh, Panyawa, Auyuka, Wayasham, Laka, Shalom, verse 27. Washamua, Ath, Shamya, Al, Banya, Yasha'ala, Wa'anya, Abarakam. All right. That, by the way, the reason I read it that way, because that is the prayer to bless Israel, if you ain't noticed when I was reading it. Right? So we're going to actually read it now. in the English, right? This is Numbers chapter 6. This is Numbers chapter 6 and verse 21. This is the law of the Nazarite, who hath vowed and of his offering unto the Most High for his separation. Beside that his hand shall get, according to the vow which he vowed, so he must do after the law of his separation. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, 23, speak unto Aaron and unto his son, saying, on the wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, this is the prayer for the blessings of the children of Israel, the prayer to bless Israel. This is Numbers chapter 6, verse 24. The Most High bless thee and keep thee. The Most High make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. The Most High lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Verse 27. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. Barakatha Yahweh Yahweh Shah. So for all you nuts who believe we just make things up, everything we do comes out of the Bible, literally. Every cadence we sing for at Hebrew Academy, the way we decorate and decken our temple, the high holy days, the prayers, all of it is done it comes from the Bible, right? All of it. This isn't something that's made up. This is something that we follow from the Bible. The brothers who started this school, the 7 heads, they looked at a one-man sacrifice and they decided to follow what he laid down and continued his work. And this is from all the way from Moses until Command and General Yahanna. And the things that we saw and we read in the Bible, we do. That's why this is set up the way it is. The school is set up the way it is. Everyone understand this is the truth, the home of the truth. And there is no one outside of the I.S.U.P.K. under Command and General Yahanna who has the truth. Everyone understand? All right, let's go on to the next 7. All right, this is Numbers chapter 7 and verse 1. All right. Wayahya, Bayawam, Kalawath, Masha, Lahakwim, Ath, Hamashakan, Wayamashak, Athua, Wayakodash, Athua, Wa'ath, Kal, Kaliyawa, Wa'ath, Hamazabach, Wa'ath, Kal, Kalyua, Wayamashakam, Wayakodash, Atham, verse 2. Wayakoryabwa, Nashiaya, Yasha'ala, Wa'ashiyah, Bayath, Abatham, Han, Salaki, Abatham, Hum, Nashiaya, Hamatath, Hum, Haimadyam, Al, Hapaquadyam, verse 3. Wayabayawa, Ath, Quarabanam, Lapunya, Yahweh, Shashah, Agalath, Tazab, Washanya, Ashar, Ishar, Bakwar, Agalah, Al, Shanya, Hanashayam, Washawur, Lachad, Wayakwar Yabawa, our thumb, Salaki, our thumb, Lapunya, Hamashakan, verse 4. Wayamar, Yahweh, Al, Masha, La'amar, verse 5. Quat, my thumb, Wahayawa, Wahayawa, Laibak, Ath, Ibadath, Ahal, Mawa'id, Wanathatha, our thumb, Al, Halawayam, Ayash, Kapya, Ibadath, Salakia, Ibathua, verse 6. Excuse me. Wayakwach, Masha, Ath, Haigalath, Wa'ath, Habakor, Wayathan, our thumb, all, Halawayam, verse 7, Shafya, Salakia, Haigalaf, Wa'af, Arabite, Abakor, Nathan, Labunya, Garashwan, Kapya, Ibadathum, Ibathum, Bob. Right. This is Numbers chapter 7 and verse 1. And it came to pass on the day that Moses had fully set up the tabernacle and had anointed it and sanctified it and all the instruments thereof, both the altar and all the vessels thereof, and had anointed them and sanctified them. Verse 2, that the princes of Israel, heads of the house of their fathers, who were the princes of the tribes and were over them that were numbered, offered. And they brought their offering before the Most High, 6 covered wagons and 12 oxen, a wagon for 2 of the princes, and for each one an ox. And they brought them before the tabernacle. Verse 4, and the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, take it of them, that they may be to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and thou shalt give them unto the Levites, to every man according to his service. And Moses took the wagons and the oxen and gave them unto the Levites. Verse 7, 2 wagons and 4 oxen he gave unto the sons of Gershon, according to their service. All right. This is Numbers. Now we're going to Numbers chapter 7, verse 8. All right. Numbers chapter 7, verse 8. Wa'af, Arabai, Haigalaf, Wa'af, Shemanath, Abakor, Nathan, Labunya, Moriah, Kapya, Ibadathum, Bayad, Ayathamar, Bun, Aharon, Hakahan, verse 9. Walabunya, Kwahath, La'ah, Nathan, Kaya, Ibadathum, Salakia, Ibatha, Ibadath, Salakia, Ibadath, Akwadash, Alaha, Salakia, Alaham, Bakahap, Salakia, Bakathap, Yasha'awa, verse 10. Wayakorabia, Wayakorayabwa, Wayakorayabwa. That's how you say that one, Salakia. Hanasha'ayim, Af, Kanathum, Salakia, Kanakaf, Hamazabach, Bayawam, Hamashak, Athawa, Wayakorabwa, Hanashayam, Af, Korabnawa, Salaki, Korabnum, Lapunya, Hamazabach, verse 11. Wayamar, Yahweh, Al, Masha, Nashayah, Achad, Layawam, Nashiyawa, Salaki, Nashayah, Salaki, Nashayah, Achad, Layawam, Yakoyab, Af, Korabakat, Salaki, Korabnum, Lakanakaf, Hamazabach, verse 12. Wayahya, Hamakoryah, Bayawam, Ara Ashwan, Af, Korabanawa, Nakashwan, Ban, Amayanadab, Lamata, Yahawada, verse 13. Salakia. It's all starting to run together now, Salakia. We almost out of here, Salakia. This is Wakarabnawa. Kwairaf. All right, Kasap, Akaf, Shalashim, Wama'ah, Mashakwala, Mazarak, Achad, Kasap, Shabai, Shakwal, Bashakwal, Hakodash, Shanyaham, Malayam, Salath, Balawala, Bashaman, Lamanakah, verse 14, Kap, Achath, Aishara, Zahab, Mala'ah, Quadarath. All right, let's go back up. Verse 7, right? Verse 7. Right. Well, no, I'm sorry, 8. It's 8. This is Numbers chapter 7, verse 8. And 4 wagons and 8 oxen he gave unto the sons of Merari, according unto their service, under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest. Verse 9. But the sons of Kohath he gave none, because the service of the sanctuary belonging unto them was that they should bear upon their shoulders. Verse 9. I'm sorry, but verse 10. And the princes offered for dedicating of the altar in the day that it was anointed. Even the princes offered their offering before the altar. Verse 11. And the Most High said unto Moses, they shall offer their offering, each prince on his day, for the dedicating of the altar. Verse 12. And he that offered his offering the first day was Nashon, the son of Aminadab. That's that word I struggle with. That's that brother's name. Aminadab. It's like Ithamar and Merari. Them names, them Hebrew names. All right. So like it. The son of Aminadab of the tribe of Judah, Yahanna. Verse 13. And his offering was 1 silver charger. The weight thereof was 130 shekels. 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels after the shekel of the sanctuary. Both of them were full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. Verse 14. 1 spoon of 10 shekels of gold full of incense. All right, let's go on. This is the last 7. This is Numbers chapter 7 and verse 15. Par, Achad, Ban, Bakwar, Ayal, Achad, Kabash, Achad, Ban, Shanathwa, La'ila, verse 16. Shayar, Isayam, Achad, Lachata'ath, verse 17. Wala Zabach, Hashalamyam, Bakwar, Shanyam, Ayalam, Hamasha, Ithawadyam, Hamasha, Kabashyam, Banya, Shana, Hamasha, Za, Koraban, Nakashwan, Ban, Amayanat. That's that. I'm a Nidadab. This is his name right here. I'm a Yanadab. All right, verse 18. Bayawam, Hashanya, Akoryab, Nathana, Allah, Ban, Tazawa'ir, Nasha'ah, Yashshakar, verse 19. Hakorab, Ath, Korabanu, Kwairath, Kasap, Achath, Shalashayam, Wama'al, Mashakwala, Mazarak, Achad, Kasap, Shabayim, excuse me, Shakwal, Bashakwal, Hakodash, Shanyaham, Malayam, Salath, Balawala, Bashaman, Lamanakah, verse 20. Kap, Achath, Aishara, Zahab, Mala'ah, Quadarath, verse 21. Par, Achad, Ban, Bakwar, Ayal, Achad, Kabash, Achad, Ban, Shanathwa, La'ila. All right, this is Numbers chapter 7 and verse 15. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. Numbers 7 and 16. 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, verse 17. And for a sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he goats, 5 lambs of the first year. This was the offering of Nashon, the son of Amminadab. Verse 18. On the second day, Nathaniel, the son of Zor, prince of Issachar, did offer. He offered for his offering 1 silver charger, the weight whereof was 130 shekels, 1 silver bowl of 70 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, both of them full of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering. Verse 20. 1 spoon of gold of 10 shekels full of incense. Verse 21. 1 young bullock, 1 ram, 1 lamb of the first year for a burnt offering. All right. That I imagine, just me up here stand. Give me 1 second. All right. Hold on, give me 1 second. All right, there we go. I imagine just me up here stand. La Yashala to Israel. I imagine everyone stand. Upanya Kudam, which means to rise and face the east. The Lord's Prayer. Abanaw, Shabbat Shemaya, Kodah, Shaya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwathka, Taba'ah, Ratzazai, Haya, Aisha, Ba'aratzazah, Kawa, Haya, Bashemaya. Excuse me. Bashemaya, Nathanaw, Lacham, Kal, Yawan, Wasalakanaw, Kalawafnaw, Kasalaknaw, Kabawafinaw, Wala'ah, Dabi'ah, Banasay 1, Abal, Awashayna, Mayan, Rak, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wa'al, Watapara, Laiwalumian, Amun. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever, so be it. A cock, the prayer for the power. Yahweh, Ba'ashimi Hawashah, Babu Koshah, Nathanaw, a cock, La Ba'ah, Kal Makala, Ukal Marwa, a cock. La Tahar, Nazarite, a cock, La Hakia, a Mafia, a cock, Awakawa, the Tama'al, the Garashan, by Shimi Awashai, the water Amun. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, please give us the power to heal all men of sickness and all men of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against the unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahweh, thank you, so be it. Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Barak Lunawa, Wayasha'ala, Wahab, Wayasapari, Barak, Rapab, Magun, Ba'ashim Yahushai, for water Amun. What we just said was Yahweh in the name of Yahushai, bless us and Israel in the school, bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones in the name of Yahushai. Thank you, so be it. Psalms 121. Ayanya, Ahahari, Ma'ayan, Yama'a, Aizardi, Ma'an, Yahweh, Aisha, Salaki. Shemai, Waratza, Al Yathan, Amawat, Regal, Al Yanwam, Shemar, Hanala, Yanawam, Wala, Yashan, Sharamar, Yasha Allah, Yahweh, Shemar, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yah, Yaminka, Yavamam, Ashamash, La, Yakar, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makara, Yashamar, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza Afka, Wabawakam, I fell, I Walam Aman. I will lift up my eyes into the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help coming from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. So be it. Psalms 83. Alahai, al namayalaka, al taharash, wa al tashquat, al Yahanna, al I.S.U.P.K, Yahanna, Wamashanaya, Nasha'awa, Ra'ash, Alamu, Ya'irayamu, Sawa, Wayafe, Tazawa, al Tazakawanika, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakakida, Magoya, Wala'a, Yasakar, Sham Yasha'a, Iwa, Kaya, Nawa'i Tazawa, La, Yakhadwa, Aulika, Barya, Yakarafu, Ahoya, Adawan, Wayashim Aulu, Mawa'awa, Wahagar, Gabal, Wa'anwa, Wa'anwa, Alasha, Amishab, Tazawu, Gam Ashawu, Nalawa, Imam, Hayo, Zarawa, the Bunny Lawat, Salah, Aisha, Hum, Kamad, Kasayasara, Kayabi, Bonakal, Koyashwan, Nashamad, Ba'ayandara, Hayo, Daman, La Adama, Shea Thumwa, Nadayamu, Ka'ira, Wakazabu, Wakazaba, Wakazalana, Kauna say a Kamu, Ashar, Amawa, Nairasha, Nawa, Nawa, Alahaya, Alahaya, Shea Thumwa, Kagawa, Kakwash, Napanyaraka, Ka'ash, Daba Iriya Ira, Wakalaha, Falahat, Aryam, Kam, Dabadat, Basa Irika, Wabasa Wapaka, Daba Halam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Kwalawan, Way of Kwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Way of Bahawa, Aya, Way of Kapara, Way of Baka, Way of the Aya, Kaya, Athap, Shamka, Yahawa, Labaka, Al Yawan, Al Kal, Haratiza Aman. Keep not thou silent, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarims, Gabal, and Amalek, Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asa also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kissam, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth, make the nobles like a red, and like Zeb, yea, all their princes, as the Ba, and as the Muna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. So be it. The prayer for the blessings of the power structure. Barakatah Yahweh, wa Yahweh Shah, wa Mayaka Allah, wa Alahadi, Matazabi, Alawati, ha Alawati, ha surrender, ha Kwatazayeni, ha Hayayawu, wa ha Wafi, Yahweh, ba Shimi Awashai, the water Aman. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shah, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahanna, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you, so be it. Sar, which means to turn. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat, Imagine Barak, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, Brakatham, Yajmatah, Sar, face the sisters. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat, Imagine Barak, Yahweh Shemar Alathan, Bashim Yahweh Shah, Yajmatah, dismissed.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The I.S.U.P.K, under commanding General Yahanna, presents the Lord's 57th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All black Hispanics and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahanna. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.